Well, I'm on the farm here this evening, and it's a little breezy. If you see off in the distance, you might see what looks like some haze. Today's July the 21st. Model 50 Massey sitting over here ready to go. But today I'm going to be using the 1105 Massey and the Krone. We're going to try to cut that last patch in this field down here today, and hopefully bale it on Saturday. It's very dry, even as I walk in the grass here in the yard, you can hear it kind of crunch under my feet. The creek is low. You can see rocks that maybe you didn't see before, and out through there. And so 21st of June, and I don't know what this will look like at 21st of August, but it's pretty low. Well, there's probably a trout over in that little spot right there. There usually is. So the haze that we're seeing, I'm told, is from forest fires out west. And I don't watch a lot of TV, and I have my reasons for it. Mostly I'm just right busy, and so I don't have a lot of time to sit down in front of a television and watch. I do watch YouTube videos. The weather guessers are predicting sunny skies, but here, right before I pulled into the farm here from work, they had revised Saturday to like a 24% chance of rain. I don't know. Hopefully we can get that in before it rains. Massey 1105. So as I mentioned in my hay update video, I've got, I think, a seal going out in this radial pump right here. And there's an O-ring that kind of dances on that shaft. And I've got a box cutter here. I'm going to try to cut that thing off, and we'll talk about it. So I just sliced that O-ring off with my box cutter here. And it is a rubber O-ring. And I've seen the parts break down, and I know where this came from. I don't know how it made its way back to the shaft, but I'm expecting this pump at any time to blow hydraulic fluid out. And my understanding is that when that happens, I asked the question, will I run the hydraulic reservoir dry and, you know, ruin something in the transmission maybe? But what I was told is there's a lot of pressure on that hydraulic oil, and when this thing lets go, it'll be hydraulic oil all over the front of the windshield. If you ever blown a head gasket, you might know what I'm talking about. But we're going to run it until we either get finished baling hay for the year, or it blows one way or the other, and then I'm gonna have it fixed. Before I get going, I'm gonna check the hydraulic oil, and on this tractor I've already cracked it open. But basically, this door swings open. Gotta tuck this wire out of the way. That door swings open, and right there's one battery, and there's another one on the other side, but the dipstick is right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. So I checked it, and we're okay on fluid. I just need to tighten it down a little bit. So let me set this camera down and do that. And then all you do is just close everything back up. And I have to use my other hand to push on this, but there's a latch there and there's one here. So let me put this down and I'll get it locked up pretty good. Okay, we're in good shape. So the next thing on the list is dig my key out before I sit down. And we're going to hope this tractor starts. Which will be right handy. And my glasses and my hat out there on the hood. Let me go get those. Alright, I got the glasses on my face and the hat on my head. See if it'll start. Unbelievable. The Krone on the move and the Massey Ferguson. We're going to try to get on and off this field sooner than later, so I'll be running in high range, first gear between multi-power low and high. Get the AC going. This thing opened up. And we'll start around on the back side. I want to try to get done before the dew comes. We had a heavy dew last night, and so I kind of want to get the hay on the ground before the dew comes. And so we'll cut it tonight, we'll tet it out tomorrow night, and then on Friday night, again, I'll try to rake it. And I'll try to rake it and then bale it on Saturday. I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. On the PTO here. I'll let it run for just a minute before I let it hit the hay. I'll get out and walk around, make sure there's no funny noises. I think we're in pretty good shape. My apologies for my dirty windshield, and the sun's kind of glaring in on it. We got a pretty good amount of undergrowth coming in on this grass. Let me run it a little bit and I'll check back. See some grass kind of laid down in front of the mower where I came down through, cutting the section to the left of the mower. So I'm kind of driving in, you can kind of see it picking it up a little bit. But you never know the true story until you get it all raked up and baled, and then you kind of see what's left over. Where we're driving across this field right here, it's starting to turn into a bit of a bump. I don't know if I like that or not. I might need to reroute that road at some point. What I'll be doing is I'll be going back and forth. I won't be going around and around. And once That's kind of the way we cut this field. Try to put some laps around it and got that hay up. Then we cut one side of it, and now we're cutting the other. So I'm gonna kick it in multi-car high and see what happens. Now, if you notice, when I come into a turn, typically I don't bring the mower all the way up. This being a 9-foot mower and the wheels ain't set on it the way they are, if you're reckless with this mower in a turn, it'll tip up on one wheel. So try to be real careful about that. So when I come around the corner like I just did, I put it in multi-power low, kind of slowed it down a little bit. Kick it to multi-power high. The minimum horsepower for this mower is 70 feet square horsepower. And this Massey Ferguson dyno's at 118. So I haven't found the horsepower to be an issue running this mower conditioner yet. Yeah. So you know, this is first cutting. Second cutting kind of rolled into one because the rain has just kept us out of our field, and so it's kind of what we have to work with, and that's okay. I'm just very thankful there is some undergrowth in it. So I'll be cycling the multi-power on and off into high range as I come into the roads and low range as I go around the ends. And that's what it's made to do, on and off. I never thought I'd want a tractor with like an International with a TA and a multi-power. The mechanism of it is different, but the net result is the same. Basically a 2-speed power shift. I never thought I'd want one of those. I gotta tell you, on this 1105, it's been really handy. And when you look at the, when you look at the ground speeds on the Massey 135 or 165, 175, some of those tractors with multi-power, they have excellent gear ranges with the multi-power for haying. I wouldn't mind having one like that. So when I kick this tractor into multi-power high, I'm going about 7 miles an hour at 540 PTO RPM. That's about as fast as we can go in our fields. And obviously I got a straight stretch going, which is very helpful. Normally I'd get in and out, check the hay, check the mower, check this, check that, do something different with the camera, but I want to get on and off the field today, so we'll just be right here to the bitter end. The air conditioning in this cab, knock on wood, is working great. And in my opinion, it's worth every penny to get it going if you got a cab. And, obviously the cab in decent shape. Next week, I think temperatures are going to be up in the 90s with humidity. There's a chance we might cut a little bit of hay next week. I'm not real sure. I've kind of got some other fish I want to try to fry, but I'm watching the weather. Well, I'm not the only one in this area that's got basically first cut hay still standing. And saw a fair amount to my surprise when I drove in today of hay that was cut. This hay is pretty much weed free. It's ripe, but it's pretty much weed free. But a lot of the stuff I saw, is essentially organic. Never seen herbicides, and truthfully, probably never sees fertilizer. So the lamb's quarter and the milkweed were thick from what I could see. And You know, we've cut hay up here before when the weeds were so bad, especially milkweed and lamb's quarter. I forget which one, but I remember one time I was kind of looking in the sun. This is when we were using a sickle mower. And those weeds laying on top of the grass kind of had a silver tint to them. I got a picture somewhere of that. We've come so far with our hay, and just the cleanliness of it, eradicating the weeds. We're already looking to 2022 and hopefully a little better hay season. Got a lot of things planned, a lot of just little jobs I need to do that I haven't been able to get to. And hoping to be a little better prepared for hay next year. And not that we weren't prepared this year, but probably the two biggest surprises haying this year that I've had. One of them has just been the weather. You know, I showed the creek and I talked about how low it is and how dry it is. Now we're in July and the grass, you know, it's crunching under my feet like it's August. But, you know, we're late cutting hay, not because of monsoons, but because every time we turn around, there's a shower. Every 2 or 3 days, there's a shower. It can be just 15 minutes. But you know, if it's the day of your bail, it's a problem. So, been trying to, if nothing else, make rain-free hay. The other issue I've had, and this is not big on my family, but I haven't had very much family help this year. Normally, they're in it kind of with me up to their ears, but my kids have got jobs, my daughter's in college, and so, you know, nothing's mandatory up here, and I'm not interested in just saying you got to do whatever. And I certainly don't want my kids doing like I do and taking a day of vacation to cut hay. One of these days, when I'm on the porch, I'm hopeful they'll be doing what I'm doing here. They decide at that point they need to take a day or a half a day vacation. That's a little different. I'm reluctant to say schedule time off so you can help me. I'll do it by myself, and I'm way okay with that. And I've enjoyed making, you know, 200 to 300 bales of hay at a time. It's right manageable. haven't had to burn but very little vacation time, which is unusual, very unusual for me. Like I said, I'm hoping to get somewhere between 300 and 400 bales on this little spot. Let me keep going and I'll check back. All right, so we're continuing to chip away, and Krone's doing a great job. Knock on wood, the Massey's doing a good job. You can see it's not that much from this side to the other side of the field on the short side. Now in the past we would have cut this with our Heston sickle mower conditioner, 7 foot. We'd have gone about 3 miles an hour, maybe 3.5. And so we're going 7 miles an hour here and 9 foot cut. So the downside of a disc mower conditioner is like the downside of owning a full-size camper instead of a tent or a little pop-up camper. They're always married to a bigger vehicle. So in order to run this Krone effectively, we really need, probably an 80 to 100 plus horsepower tractor. I think I mentioned it before. I'd like to put another bigger tractor on this farm. Go with the 1105. And I don't know if anybody has a Massey 285 or a 1085 or 1080. I think on one hand they're a really good tractor, but I've read that the 318 cubic inch 4-cylinder Perkins is banned to blow head gaskets. Supposedly the problem was fixed in the later models. That would not be a bad tractor this farm, but I think there's probably better tractor. No offense to anybody that has one, but if you do have one, I'd be interested in your comments. But I'm debating whether I'd rather have another cam tractor or a second tractor or an open station and a bigger tractor. And open station has some advantages. As far as getting around and getting under things up here. But I'm just not sure about the 285 and 1080, 1085. And the difference is the 285, you straddle the transmission gear shifters between your legs like the Model 50. 1080 and the 1085, the platform tractors. Wouldn't mind having another 1105. One of the tractors that I really like, the International 886. Wouldn't mind having one of those. Nice cab and a DC D360. Not sure I want the German 358 if I were to buy one. Probably no good reason to choose one over the other. It's just my personal preference, I guess. I think the 9. I think the 886 is about an 80 PTO horsepower tractor. I don't know. I do a lot of window shopping. Kind of like the looks of the white 285 and 288. talked about this in other videos, but I like this Perkins 354 engine. Very, very fuel efficient. It just has all the power we need for what we're doing on this farm. You can see I'm kind of running back over some of the stuff I already cut to get that little strip. That would be darn near impossible with my testing. So you can kind of see we're getting down near the end. Kind of got that center strip out there to do. You can see a lot of green down in that hay. In addition, obviously there's some brown stalks, but there's a considerable amount of undergrowth. This is why I like the headlands being so being wide, coming off of the main part of the field, so I can make these turns. This will be the last pass and we're done. We'll get out and take a look at it. Okay. Ixnay the air conditioner. This is kind of what we got. I mean, that's a pretty good handful right there. I'll probably walk over here and get some less choice handfuls of hay. Obviously, there's some brown stalks right there, but you know, when I reach under it, when I reach down into that undergrowth, it's a fair amount of green. And the more undergrowth that comes in, the better our test results will be. So it's a beautiful day here on the farm, and I'm just glad I could come out and mow this hay again. I'm hoping to get somewhere between 300 and 400 bales, and that's the impeller tines on the Krone. You can see them down there, and what a wonderful machine, and it does a nice job conditioning this hay. 2801cv, that's the model of this Krone. So it's 2.8 meters. It's not quite 9 feet, but it's, you know, really close. Massey Ferguson 1105. I'm not seeing a pile of hydraulic fluid squirting out, but I think it's inevitable. I think. Yeah, you see how tall this? See how that Krone just stacks this hay up? Sometimes I wonder if it's even cut it. Now tell me it won't dry when it's setting up like that. So we get this hay in, and we'll probably do some gleaner hay around the edges, and then we'll head back over the hill. So again, appreciate you watching. Massey Ferguson 1105, Krone 2801cv, first and second cut hay combined here on July 21st. Feel free to leave comments, subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.